Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you with a weekly news and review for March 15, 2020. Lots of great stuff going on this week. A lot of stuff I'm catching up on that I didn't put in the last few weeks. And there's some new stuff this week. I'm going to fill you in on all of it. Coming up. So the first thing I want to talk about is this Banana Force, the MPL-01 Dark Shooter RID Fire Convoy Black version. It's available at Show Z right now for pre-order at $169.99. This thing's going to be 10.63 inches tall, plastic ABS die-cast, non-transformable, tight joints with tight paint job, nice paint job. And it's going to pretty much the same as their first one, except it's going to be the black version with an alternate head, alternate hands, guns, and swords. And the real news about this is Show Z updated the pictures this past week, and I think this company is really cool. I haven't handled any of their products, but I hear great things, and I'm a kind of a G1er myself, so I'm wondering if they'll ever put out anything for the G1. Next up is something that's kind of interesting. There is this big Firebird, which is making the Nicey Magic Henshin Girls 501 combiner, and it's all plastic. It's going to be 8.66 inches tall. Now I'm curious, is the combine mode that tall, or is each figure that tall? Again, I don't know. But it's going to include Big Firebird Magic Henshin Girls 01, Red Motor 02, 4-wheel drive, 03 and 4 are twin, 2 wings, set of 2, and then 05 combiner upgrade kit. So the price on that combiner is $175, but for whatever reason you can get the upgrade kit separate for $45 at Show Z, and it says it's 4.72 inches tall. So maybe I'm guessing, there's not much about this yet, but maybe this is like a legend size. I don't know. I assumed it was going to be masterpiece size. But anyway, can be transformed into a tank and back. Also can be combined with 3 other figures in the series into an even bigger figure. So interesting set. I know that Big Firebird is making fembots. Pretty cool. Next up, I do want to talk about Gigapower's the HQ02X Grassor Slag metallic weathered version. This figure looks really cool. I think that if I didn't already have the Fans Toys Scoria, I guess, I would probably be all over this. I'm still kind of deciding whether I'm going to pick it up or not. I might have to just deck my entire shelf out with Gigapower, but the reality is, if you don't want to pay the whatever price Scoria is going for, or whatever for the Perfect Fusion, which is Fans Toys also, this is an option, and it's available right now at Show Z, $194 or something like that, but you can use all your points, get it a little cheaper. There's ways you can do it. If you're a member premium, you get a whole lot off. You get a lot of credit for your next purchase also, but it looks good and would fit in with Fans Toys. I believe it would fit in with Fans Toys better than Scoria, which is why they remade Scoria, because they felt it was too small. And of course, alt mode looks good. I like Gigapower. I think they do good work. I think that they've got a couple of pieces that fall off you got to glue back on. That's the reality with Gigapower. At the end, it's not that bad. Nothing major has broken on me. They look beautiful on my shelf. But I prefer the chrome myself, but the vast majority prefer the metallic, in my opinion. While I'm on Gigapower, I do want to talk about the HQ03R Gutter Snarl Chrome version. It's a reissue that's coming. We don't know when it's coming. It's at $170, which is okay with me. I think it's a decent price for this figure. It's going to be big and beefy. And by the way, I don't have this in my Masterpiece collection, and I don't know why. I've just dragged my feet on getting this character. I don't care enough to spend a whole lot of money, but I think it's a good price. And since I'm pretty impressed with the quality, more or less, aside from the few parts that fall off, the bling I get out of the Chrome version was worth waiting for finally a reissue of the Chrome version. And while I'm talking about Show Z, I do want to admit I have not had any of my pre-orders arrive or show up saying, hey, I need to pay for them. So I'm not saying I'm disappointed in that. It's what I expect. But if you're sitting there with a bunch of pre-orders from Show Z and wondering, are you the only one not getting any updates on it? It's just backed up. And it's not Show Z's fault. It's, well, other issues. So next up, I want to talk about this King's Arts die-cast figure, the DFS-067 UFO robot Grandizer. Limited edition with a UFO. It is an interesting looking figure. I kind of get a Super Voltron vibe from this figure, but I'll tell you a little bit about it. It's, of course, available on Show Z. That's how I even know it exists. It's going to be almost 10 inches tall. It's going to be made of both plastic and die-cast. I get the Bandai SOC feel when I look at this and I read about it. It might fit in with those on your shelf real well also. But from Hong Kong manufacturer King Alloy, movable die-cast action features, and the Mazinger Z and Great Mazinger Grandizer finally appeared. It says it's a limited edition and it's going to have extra parts, so it comes with the main body, the optional corner parts ×2, optional hands ×4, effect crusher punch effect part ×2, double spearer ×1, double hanger ×2, shoulder boomerang ×2, and then, quote, bonus part, I don't know what it is. But there's a picture of this, and this is pretty cool. I don't know if that connects to him or what, but interesting part for it. I don't know a lot about this. I know, what is it? Retro Blasting? Michael French at Retro Blasting talks about Grandizer a lot as one of his favorite, like, underground kind of things that is out there. So again, I don't know how to classify this, but it's a pre-order for Toy Alliance Acid Rain Camel Bot. Not to be confused with Camel Toe. Camel Bot is interesting. It's a robot about 4 inches tall, maybe 3 1/4 inches tall. There's several different colors and variations, and it's cool. And it does sort of transform. It has another form, and it looks kind of like this. Now, I guess that's why they call it Camel Bot. It looks like it basically just turns into a dog with a gun on its back, and then there's different options for it. But I've never seen this before. I've never heard of it before, and it's one of those off-the-wall things. The figures are about $60 a piece, and for 4 inches tall, it's still interesting. So next up, I want to talk about Ocular Max's Azalea Protoform, and this is supposed to be for TFcon exclusive. Now, as you know, whatever TFcon exclusives don't sell out, you can get them on all the major retailers, and they'll have them for sale slightly more than they were at the event. But since TFcon did get canceled, and I made a video about that, so there's no need to talk about it here, this figure is going to be widely available at all those retailers, in my opinion. I've got no facts on this, but I'm pretty sure they've been produced a long time ago if they're ready to go for an event that's supposed to happen in a week. So look forward to this coming up for all your pre-orders, or actually in stocks at your favorite third-party retailer. Now, Flames Toys is making their version of a Megatron, and this thing looks pretty good. In fact, one of my Star Wars buddies called me saying he got a glimpse of it, and he was impressed with this. He thought it was really a cool-looking figure, that I need to check it out. Maybe I might want to pick it up. I think it's pretty cool-looking, too. Really stylized in that style that Flames Toys does. And again, Flames Toys is kind of at the high end of the pricing. No transformation on this, of course. But it's considered an official figure because Flames Toys is officially licensed. But they do great work. And I've never handled one of these, but I hear they are such high quality, and this version of Megatron is definitely hit. I love the black and the purple. I mean, it's really a color scheme for Decepticon that you cannot go wrong with. So I want to take a minute and I want to talk about 3 points about the Super 7 3 3/4 inch Transformers that they're putting out on their cards in their way that they do it. The first point is that I saw them in person this past weekend at a local comic shop that got them in and is selling them. Now, they didn't, for whatever reason, get Soundwave or the Jazz. So I didn't get to see those in person. So the 4 that I saw, I felt Starscream was the best looking of all of them. But for me personally, I never would open them anyway. I like the art, and I'm a Star Wars mint and package collector myself. So keeping these mint and package would be kind of just what I do. But looking at them, I decided, hey, I need to go out and find some. And so my second point is, I looked around to find some, and I found some online. If you ordered the whole case, you could get the whole case for $100 shipped. And I thought that was a pretty good deal. And then, you know, with a few other things that I do, it only costed me like $40 when I was done. Had some credit that I was able to use that they accepted through PayPal and all that. So the bottom line is, I don't even know if this Sure Thing Toys is going to work out. You might want to wait a week, and I'll tell you if it works out or not. But that's a good deal. My problem with these figures is $18 is too much. And then $18 plus tax, putting them at $20 is too much. So with $100 for these, it came to $16.67 a piece. And I think that's okay. I felt like 15 would have been better. 13 would have been more realistic in my opinion. But I don't think we're going to get these. There's not going to be very many. 5 years from now, they might be impossible to find. Who knows? I think they're cool. I don't think they're the greatest thing ever. But let's get on to my third point. So on my third point, I did bring up the next like 6 they're making. I found 15 names of characters they're making. So I don't have pictures for them, so I'll just let you look at this picture. But Shrapnel, the Shrapnel, the Insecticon, Grimlock, Blaster, Blitzwing, Dirge, Skyfire. They're going to make a Devastator, which we knew about. And I'm seeing that they're going to make, it looks like there's 2 price points on Devastator. There might be 2 different sizes of Devastator. But I would, if I were to pick the size, I'd go with the Deluxe. That's $25 instead of $18. Okay, Alpha Trion, I've reported on him before. Rumble, Prowl, Mirage, Shockwave, Perceptor, and Reflector. And the thing about Reflector is that you're going to get 1 Reflector. It seems like you'd want 3 if you're collecting these, so that's strange. But I thought this was some interesting news to talk about. And then when my son was with me when I was looking at them, and I asked him if we should get them, and I asked him would they look good on my Legends shelf, and he said they don't transform. That is such good insight from a 10-year-old, 11-year-old. Anyway, I came home and I found a cheaper place to order them. Maybe you'll order them there too. But if you know a cheaper place to get these, let me know. So it seems like Hasbro put out more pictures of the same stuff, just different pictures. And so I figured I'd show them, and my last picture has something in it that I thought was kind of interesting. But this shows the connectivity of Skylinks and all of the other figures. You can connect them to the Shield Bot that's coming out in the micro size line. You can connect them to this Ironworks figure. So all that works great. Still haven't found any of the Deluxes in my area, and I understand it seems like Deluxes are the hardest to find. Here's another picture of, I guess, if you're getting multiple Shield Bots and loading them up as like a takeoff ramp. I don't know. But it's cool. This is something you can do. It's an option. It's a thing you can do. I like it. It's okay. It works. And there's a bunch of pictures of Skylinks doing different things with an audience. But I want to point out in this picture, we get to see the back of the Earthrise RC. I like the fact that they're kind of showing us this. We already have the Springer. Some of us have the Optimus Prime. But the RC is something that we don't have yet. And it's kind of odd that the back looks like that. It's just, I'm still kind of got the jury out whether I like this one more or 30th anniversary more. I can't wait to get it and compare them. I mean, I am going to get it. It's not going to stop me, but I want to see which one's better. As for Skylinks, this Skylinks is going to be better. As I previously stated, TFcon was canceled, and I also want to talk about WonderCon Anaheim is postponed, and they don't have the exact date they're gonna do it yet. But I mean, we're still kind of not sure what's going on with everything. But the reality of it is that pretty much every major event is getting postponed. One thing I didn't talk about in the video, though, is one of the reasons that these are getting postponed is the threat of litigation. And companies aren't saying this, but it is kind of, a lot of experts have come out and said that that's why they see this happening. But on the flip side, it's more of they're losing a lot of money by canceling these events. How much more money would they lose if they're getting sued because of, well, they put it on? So I want to talk to you about this New Zealand mint and this particular Stormtrooper silver. It's silver. And this thing is 2 ounces of silver. And it's made to be a Stormtrooper, and it's a collectible and all of that stuff. And I thought, you know what? If I could buy this just a little bit over spot, it would be great for a store of value. Like, instead of, you know, hey, I don't have so keep a couple $100 in cash on hand. Let's keep a couple $100 in silver. Well, for 2 ounces of silver, it's like $35 spot value, and this thing costs $220. So as a collectible, and you just want it as a limited edition collectible, it's one thing. If you want it as just the silver value, you're paying way more than silver value. But let's talk about the gold. So the New Zealand Mint is also offering up these coins. Now you could get this Lando Calrissian gold coin in a 1/4 ounce gold or 1 ounce gold. Now the 1/4 ounce gold one costs just $770. The 1 ounce gold coin costs $2,700. So 1 ounce of gold right now is about $1,500 to $1,600 depending on, you know, the price. I mean, there's a specific price, but you also have to factor in they have to have an amount over spot that they get. It's almost twice as much as the gold price, $2,700 for this. So it's cool, and if you want to store your gold in this, it's possible. So I do want to talk about the Clone Wars show. It's turning into a weekly thing I do with my family. We watch the Clone Wars, and I'm enjoying it. It's not like they're reinventing the wheel, but they add some new stuff to it. If you haven't been watching it, well, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but you're going to see some pictures. Maybe the picture spoils it, who knows. But I think it's cool. I think it's fun. I think it's enjoyable. It's a stopgap filler, in my opinion, for season 2 of The Mandalorian, and that's where I'm at with it. My kids enjoy it. My wife actually enjoys watching it with us because, well, we get a kick out of it, so I guess she does too. But I think we're up to 4 episodes now, 4 episodes deep, and a lot of people really are wanting to collect and buy the Clone Wars stuff, but there's nothing really Clone Wars coming out. They are going to be putting out some more clones eventually in both the Vintage Collection and in the Black Series, but as of right now, if you're going to try to go back and backtrack and buy all the clone stuff over the last couple of decades or decade and a half, it's getting pretty expensive and hard to come by. So one of the things we've gotten is some good comparison pictures of the 2 different Revans, and we've got the Darth Revan and the Jedi Revan, and it's like the same figure with different paint scheme, which we knew. And this is kind of one of those things that's now sealed. The gaming greats from GameStop are just reissues. Just like the 40th anniversary are all reissues, except one figure. But the gaming greats are all reissues so far. And I think it looks really good. I think the character, the figure, whatever, looks good. But again, I'm going to reiterate, the gaming great figures are going to be made in much smaller quantity and much harder to find, meaning much more expensive if you don't get them at retail. And we got a package shot of the gaming greats version of the Shadow Stormtrooper. The Shadow Stormtrooper Looks cool. I was really hoping it would have some glow-in-the-dark functions, but according to everybody that I've talked to that knows anything about it, they say no glow-in-the-dark function, it just is paint. It looks like it might, it's reflective, it's not. So, I was kind of sad about that. I kind of like the glow-in-the-dark function. Or shall I say, feature, rather. Now, we're getting another picture of another gaming great in this Stormtrooper Commando, which, if you look at it, it's a Stormtrooper. I have had a few people tell me they don't like this Stormtrooper mold, and some expect an updated Stormtrooper mold eventually. I don't have a problem with it, but then of course, you know, most of mine stay in the box. But a lot of people say that they don't like the articulation on it. It looks good to me. It looks fine to me. I see him do everything that a Stormtrooper would want to do, but maybe there will be an upgrade coming in future iterations of just the classic Stormtrooper design. So let me know what you think about this week's weekly news in review. Is there anything that I didn't talk about that you thought was really cool or awesome that happened this week? Let me know, because I really do want to know. Like and subscribe, and have your hanger out.